So, how long, number 2, how long is a piece of rope if we have a piece that is 3 feet long, and then you tie on another piece that's 5 feet long? How long is it? 8 feet. 1.6 talks about angles and their measures, and the objective is to measure and classify angles and add angles. Now, our first vocab word is angle. It consists of 2 rays that have the same endpoint. So 2 rays, a ray going this way, that is an angle. Has the same endpoint. Now, that endpoint is called the vertex. So I am going to label this. This little spot right here is the vertex. So if this angle is angle A, B, C, what would you call the vertex? B. Now we're going to name the angles. How many angles do you see here? How many do you think?
1 angle? Yes.
Just one?
No, 2. It's 2 angles.
Okay, so you see this one? You see this one? What about this one? So there are 3. We're going to name 3 different angles. So let's do number 1. Alright, how we name an angle? We start at one point and work our way to the vertex and back up. So what's our first angle? PQS. The vertex goes in the middle. So PQS. What's another way to name that angle? SQP. Angle SQP. So let me say that again. So you start at one end, so the end of the ray, work your way to the vertex, and then go up the other ray. So PQS, and then you just reverse it, SQP. What always goes in the middle? The vertex. Let's do the next one. Okay, number 2. What's the other angle you guys see here? SQR. So Justin said SQR. So angle SQR. Do not forget this angle sign. You miss points for that. What's another way to name that angle? RQS. You just flip it around. Yes, we'll do one more. So our last angle is the bigger angle. So we're going to say 3. Angle PQR. Or what else could it be called? RQP. Also, let's say that we had an angle that looks like this, and it doesn't have that third ray. Let's say it just looks like this, and it says angle ABC. What's the vertex here? B. You could also call this angle B if it doesn't have this ray right here on it. Okay, so if it doesn't have the third ray through it, you can just name it angle B. Okay, so degrees is the measurement of an angle. You label it. Please don't move. Okay. You label it like, let's say it's 28. You put a little degrees after it. That's how you label it, degrees. Congruent angles are 2 angles having the same measurement, and that congruent sign is appearing again. So on the last one, we could say angle PQR is congruent to angle ABC. That's how you would write a statement of congruency. So, classifying angles. You're going to be asked to classify angles. There's 3 ways to classify them. Or 4, sorry. Acute is our first. What's acute mean?
It's like 0 to 90, but it's like really small.
It's really small, okay? So it measures between 0 and 90 degrees. It would look something like this. Or like this. It's less than 90. We drawn? Alright, obtuse angles. They're bigger than 90 degrees. So they would look like this. or like this. Something along those lines. They're bigger than 90 degrees. Right angles measure exactly at 90 degrees.
The side of a square.
It looks like this, and it's marked with a little box. That's a right angle. A straight angle, what do you think that looks like?
It's just a straight line.
It's a straight line. What I'm going to do when I see it says this, I'm going to trace over what I'm looking for. MTP. So that's the entire angle. What are we going to do when we're looking for the entire thing?
You're gonna add up.
We're going to, right, we're going to add. If we're looking for the whole thing, we're going to add them. So what am I going to do? 30
Plus 40.
plus 40, which gives me what?
70.
70 degrees. Do not forget the degrees.
I'm gonna forget to do this.
So we're adding those together. Now, do we have questions about adding the angles together to find the big one? Okay, so it's just like the segment addition postulate. If you're looking for the whole thing, you're adding them together. If you're looking for just a piece, you're subtracting. If you need the big thing, you add. If you need the little thing, you subtract. Okay, so now we're subtracting angles. Do you guys see this little semicircle here? So what do you think that means? That the whole angle is what?
The whole angle is that number.
135. So if you see the whole thing is 135, that's what this means. The whole thing is 135.
You subtract.
So what your question would ask you is it would say find angle ABC. Wow, that was a terrible angle. Angle ABC. Okay? So I am going to trace over ABC. Now, would that make sense to add these two angles together?
No.
No, because then you would get 195 degrees. That wouldn't make any sense, right? Because it's a huge number. But would it make sense to subtract if we're looking for a smaller angle?
No.
Yeah. So what do you think I'm going to subtract?
135 minus 60.
135 minus 60,
You get 75.
75 what? Degrees.
I said that.
Okay.
I said that.
All right, what did we learn today? Adding,
And subtracting and
adding, subtracting, and what was that other word that starts with a C? And classifying angles. Good. If you have a question or are just so confused, write it here. A sample test question could look like something like this. Be find angle ABC.